What's going on? How y'all doing? So I watched the Rick James documentary on Showtime. It was very, very good. Um, there was a couple of things they didn't touch upon from my standards, more musically inclined, because they didn't tell you how impactful his music was in the sense that man, Marvin Gaye was trying to get it. Michael Jackson was inspired by it. There's a lot. He see to understand the magnitude of Rick James. Let me put it to you like this: about 40 years ago, for a window there in time, he was bigger than Michael Jackson, Prince, and Lionel Richie in these streets. Ray Parker Jr. too. I can name anybody that you want to mention that was one of the faces of black pop music that had success or what have you. He was bigger than them, and his sound was terrorizing the industry. This was before sampling and everything took off, mind you, because people would take nudges and pieces into his music. Quincy Jones alluded to it. Rod Temperton, they alluded to it. He had that kind of pulse. He had people checking his thing out because he had that orchestration thing. He had that funky thing, but he had that pop sensibility and melodic. But yeah, he could hit you with some cold, slow jams. So he could break you off with what Michael was doing, what Prince was doing, and what Lionel was doing, and Ray Parker Jr. He could break you off in all that. And the Marvin Gaye thing too, with a touch of Stevie Wonder. I mean, he had all that, plus either being sociable or making it. So, just from that part, they didn't really tap enough into for me about because his impact then was a forerunner to what his impact was with hip hop, and it was big. He's been sampled, like I said, he's one of the five most sampled artists ever, and he should be a Hall of Famer. You know, um, I've said this before, and I'll say this again. If Rick James was white with the rock star persona and the swag and attitude he had, oh, he would have been even larger. They would have been making a pizza out of him, or they'd have had a movie. They'd have had a pinball game. They'd have done it up. They did not do his legacy justice. Because I've seen some lesser cats get way more. And it is a lot of skin because he spoke out against the powers that be in MTV. And he had a hit, certified hit career. But see, 40 years ago, the powers that be spent their money in the industry on another Rick. His name was Springfield and Jesse's Girl, which was a good song, and I like some of Springfield stuff, but come on now. They missed the boat, Rick James. Especially for a black artist at that time, and your name ain't Michael Jackson. And this was before Lionel Richie's solo career took off and before Prince's solo career took off. Shows you how these things work. And that documentary did bring a good point. When Rick got mad um, with the president of Motown, the guy said, okay, I'm giving the money to Lionel Richie. And I love Lionel. Lionel's one of the greatest ever. It just goes to show you the politics in the business and how you play the ball, how you play the game, and how you don't. But anyway, it was great to see his daughter Ty and his son Taz and girl for the mother of his children and brother and the Stone City Band. Uh, Stephen Ivory was in there. It was one of the greatest music writers ever, period. Same with David Ritz. Top tier people to speak. There should have been more. I mean, obviously, some people feel they burned bridges. It was good to see JoJo from the Mary Jane Girls. That was cool. Oscar Alston, underrated bass player, played on all them big hits for Rick in the studio. Oscar Alston was a bad dude. Levi Ruffin. Just great to see, and then remembering the greatness of Tina Marie and how Rick James brought that out, and just greatness. Just when of course, being from Buffalo, and I say this all the time, only O.J. Simpson is big in the Buffalo circles as Rick was. Prime peak, because that's how big, and them brothers was big in Buffalo. And it's great to, see the before and after reflections on his mother, and a whole lot of things have happened. Obviously, with hip hop, with Hammer and Ice Cube talking, that was big, all that. So, and Dr. Ty Boyd, very strong speaking brother who speaks on a lot of social topics, keeping 100 about Super Freak. Even though I would say Kool and the Gang Celebration was a bit more played than Super Freak, but they about neck and neck. If you went to a white frat party or you went to something like that. So But anyway, all in all, it's on Showtime and it's definitely worth checking out. Rick James was one of the realists, and then you saw his battles with Prince and how that ensued, that little brother big brother rivalry situation, and then of course with MTV and their racism, which was true. I do a whole video about MTV and their racist agenda and other, just so much Motown politics and just so many things. But it's a great reflection on a great artist, and you know, a lot of self dehumanizing demons, pain, plague, things that tore at the core of a very incredible soul. Just that, and of course, we get into the Chappelle thing and this and that, but it's great to watch something that you can reflect on. So please give me your thoughts and tips about Rick James. Please hit like, subscribe. I welcome thoughts and comments, and I do respond. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. And Rick was a real one. He was one of the brothers who could rock and roll on the white side of the fence, but he was still an around the way brother that you could still appreciate at the cookout. I'm out.